That's right. It is the morning show right here on Facebook, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, Apple TV, and many, many other places. Don't forget to tune into the Alexa app to say, Alexa, I'd like to listen to KMET 1490 AM. And Alexa will be so kind as to help you out. We are so happy to have you with us. Lots of interesting information coming in from around the world. We'll discuss a little bit of that around the corner. First of all, we got to do a big shout out to those tuning in live. We've got Maria tuning in. Yankopoulos says, good morning, Aaron, Jesse, and everyone. Let's flash her up there on the screen there. Fran also tuning in. I don't want to say her full name because I think her friends know her as Fran. I know her as differently, but there you go. Penelope tuning in. Thank you. Says good morning. We got Subscreamer tuning in. Thank you as well. Says good morning. We got Jesse tuning in over there. Live in the wings. Jesse, what's going on over there?
Good morning. I'm actually enjoying the cold weather in the morning, so I'm enjoying it.
Nice. Yeah. Fran says it's a snowy day where she's at, so she's getting to tune in. So that's good for like a full day. And a half, I think, right? Because if you got arthritis, oof, no fun. And then, of course, I love the cold, though. I really do. I just feel like this cold winter is going to be colder than normal. Does that make sense? I mean, we've had such extreme weather as of late.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say goodbye to the heat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just wondering what's around the corner with the cold, right? Let's see. Andy Peterson tuning in on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Says, good morning. Good morning, Andy. Glad to have you with us. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing and on set for upcoming productions coming up for 62 plus clients. It's awesome day ahead. You know what? Good job. Sweet. You're busy over there. I love that. Also, big shout out to the Mariachi Women's Festival. We had them on the show as of Friday, and I can tell you right now, Jesse, you missed out, man.
Yeah, I did.
There were a couple, actually a few hundred that actually tune in. And it's cool because you get to tune in on the app as well via the live feed. And then everybody that was tuning in could chat from all around wherever they were at. So I made new friends. I was like, hey, so it was cool. I'm not going to lie. It was a really neat, fantastic meetup, so to speak, a shared experience had by all. And no truth to the rumor, she's going to repost that as another event as well. So follow me online, Aaron Michael Sanchez. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and many more places. I put the link there for the actual live event. The live event's gone, but she says she's going to have it on demand. And I'm telling you, it made me feel good at the end of the night because I thought I was going to be all like, oh, I'm so lonesome tonight. And I was like, you know what? This is a celebration of life. Dia los Muertos. And I was like, you know what? I think more people need to have that fun, especially as shared experience. Really cool. All right, people, we need to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, for those of you tuning in, I appreciate you. No truth to the rumor, I will be starting up an Aaron Michael Sanchez Presents, and it's going to be an amazing time. Okay, so we're going to have musical guests. We're going to have, let me know what you would like to see, actually. Shared experiences, right? Had by all. But these are going to be paid experiences, right? Because for example, there's musicians that I know. We're going to have one on Wednesday. Can't wait for her. Go check her out right now. Amy May Music. Okay, Amy May. I bring up her album. You know what? Let me see if I can bring her up in time. This lady I discovered. Honestly, if you've never been to Santa Monica, there are those musicians. Let's see that. Let me scroll down. Amy May, you're going to be a fan. If you're not already a fan, you're going to be a fan. Trust me, Jesse, you're going to be a fan. I'll pull up this one. And she, long story short, does these virtual things on Facebook. Oh, wait, that's not a proper picture. Oh, man. Oh, you just got to look her up, okay? Actually, I could bring up this one, but no. Just look her up. Let me see if this one pulls up. Looks like it's not going to. Well, let me try. And long story short, I highly recommend her. But she, like so many others, yeah, it's not pulling up, are having a hard time making money because they don't have more festivals, right? So I thought, hey, we had a film festival. We need a music festival. I know a lot of musicians. We've had a lot of musicians on the show in the past decade.
We got 10 seconds.
I stay friends with. Why not? Let's do like a virtual meetup. Would you guys be down for that? And it goes to a good cause. We could tie into a nonprofit. What do you think? Let me know on social media.
2 seconds.
That's right. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience over there, Facebook, YouTube Live, Periscope TV, also known as Twitter's Periscope TV, Apple TV, and also LinkedIn. Glad to have you with us on today's show. We're kicking back a little with our audience, our shared experience audience, which I'm telling you, Jesse, this is the next best thing. It's something that I guarantee is going to be taken off in the next few months. And I'm here loud and I'm going to announce it. Here it is. Aaron Michael Sanchez presents. I just got to come up with a better title than that. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez there. Jesse, you there with us?
Yes, I am in spirit. Good morning.
Wait, in spirit? Are you gone? Are you dead? Or is this like a
I don't know. I think I'm living in the Matrix. So
from the by the way, if anybody hasn't seen The Matrix, you got to watch it with a different perspective. I watched it with a different perspective with my mom, and I had to explain it to her so she'd understand. But I had a whole other perspective, and the perspective was this, Jesse. What if The Matrix was not only real, but you could like tap in to the ability to learn a martial art like willy-nilly? Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be awesome.
Like, what would you learn if you could learn so quick, like within days versus like weeks or months?
Ooh, yeah, definitely some type of martial arts, but I'd be like downloading all types of books in my head.
Really?
Instant knowledge. Boom. Instant knowledge. Yeah. Why not?
Like what kind of books? Like sci-fi? Like
no, I'm talking about
genre?
Like science books. Like I don't know. I find anthropology interesting. I don't know. Whatever floats my boat.
Well, I love it. It's a great idea. And the reality is, look, we all got a little bit extra time, right? Sometimes focusing on something that we could do that might help us out in life. I'm not gonna lie. I did a little piano. I was thinking, oh, okay, I've always wanted to do that, so I did it a little, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with that. But speaking of which, we have a lot of musicians, a lot of good close friends, which I recently discovered are really hurting. And these are musicians that are independent artists, so they don't, they're not backed by like Capitol Records, right? And it's sad because a lot of them used to make a lot of money, or at least a decent size to stay alive, right? Mm-hmm. By performing in different venues, right? Like sometimes you go see, I know, I can think of 3 right now that I used to have. It was a show that I called The Tavern Show, and I helped produce this show. And the premise was we all were behind like a bar, which was a really cool set. And those are up on YouTube still. You can go check them out. Katie Cole. We had Katie Cole and a couple other, Casey Murdoch and a couple others that all we just kind of pretended like we were in a bar scene, and we had a conversation with the artist, with our host, which was not me, but a very good friend who had a great regular chat with them. And I would control the dolly, right, going back and forth with the camera, and it's a great show. It's there with some really good musicians, and ever since then I've always wanted to do a musical experience of some sort, right? And I remember like a few years back we were talking to a couple of venues, and the venues were like very expensive to want to shoot in. Everybody wants a cut. For those that don't understand music and licensing, it can be quite difficult depending on who owns the rights, right? But a lot of these independent artists own their own rights, and they put this stuff on YouTube. They barely make a dime, if that. Because you got to have like hundreds of thousands of views, right? Hmm. So it occurred to me, I've always wanted to do a musical show. Why not do a virtual meetup? It's not the same thing, but it's even better. Here's why. You get to have the experience with people, whether you're alone, whether you got a family of 8 or 10 or 20, throw it on. Pull in some really good acts, support a friend, a musical friend, right? Musical friend gets to, do what they love, gets to bring some happiness to you, and everybody, it's a win-win situation. What do you think? Good idea, bad idea, great idea?
I think it's a great idea.
All right, so there you go. And with that being said, Amy May is coming up this coming Wednesday. Go check her out right now. Amy May Music. Watch her. You follow her on Instagram. You'll guaranteed. You'll see a lot of pictures. You're gonna be like, wow. But on the flip side of that, she's not just a beautiful lady, she's a beautiful heart. And I mean that through and through. When you listen to her sing, you will feel instantly moved. Because there's like 3 songs that I love of hers. I hope she'll perform live here on the show, which she will. But this is on the show. And so I'm gonna ask you guys ahead of time. I love it if you support her music, okay? Amy May, go check it out. Some of her stuff, very healing, if that makes any sense. Like there's certain songs that are anti-healing. You know what I mean? They just make you like, yeah, mad and fat. Like, so some make you mad and upset. You know which ones I'm talking about, Jesse?
The ones that put you like in a fighting mood or just like get your energy pumped or.
Yeah, exactly. Which I love metal, by the way. I do actually. There's a couple metal songs that I love. All right. And people don't think that about me. I got exposed to it about a while back. Okay. And I was like, I'm digging not all of it. But I love a good majority of it that people are like, really? You like? I go, yeah, actually I like that. But then there's the opposite end of music that, sometimes you may feel a little like forlorn, a little sad, a little mad, a little angry. And all of a sudden you hear it and you're like, I don't know why, but I just feel better. Right. That's a little bit of Amy May music. So Amy, great, fantastic musical arts. I can't say enough about this lady. And I discovered her, oddly enough, on, if any of you have been to Santa Monica, have you been to Santa Monica as of late near the promenade, Jesse? Ever walked the promenade?
Negatory. I have not been to Santa Monica in over a decade.
Okay. Well, as of late, to be honest, is not the same. But this was back when and those that have been to Santa Monica Promenade, a lot of musical artists will perform their music live, right?
Cool.
So some are like, kind of like, oh, okay, that's not really, and you walk by and, you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of a cool tune. But when she sang with so much heart, you could almost feel the emotion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So again, Amy May, go check her out right here, right now. I guarantee you'll fall in love with her music. And then we're gonna have her live this Wednesday. It's been about a month and a half for me to get her on because there's been so many like mishaps that have happened. And I said, look, Amy, I'm finally set. I'm ready to go. Are you ready to join us? So she's coming up this Wednesday. But I think we should with that show I'm going to work very feverishly to create a virtual viewing event where people participate live on a shared festival, music festival. I don't know what we're going to call it. If you guys have ideas, I'm open. But it'll be Aaron Michael Sanchez presents New American. Remember, like Dick Clark presents? It's kind of like that, but we don't get to dance in public. Does that? Remember American Bandstand? We can't call it that, right? So, but it'll operate on my own social media feed. Okay, so just so you know, go follow, support, and let me know if you have a musical person or you're musically inclined and you have like a brand, not like you want to do the ukulele. I'm talking about things that people would want to pay to see. Okay, I got to make it like make sense financially, but I figured this will help musicians and artists alike, right? And we could do, I don't know, depending, we could start off like every other week, but I think it would be a really, look, you bring your own liquor, Jesse, think about it. You don't have to pay top dollar for liquor, right? And have some fun. Why not? Bring your own beer, bring your own liquor, bring your own alcohol. I mean, it's not like Woodstock, right? I mean, I don't know. We could have like, we could set up big television sets at certain like big like venues, right? Be like a virtual. Remember that? I mean, it's nothing new, right? They've done this a lot of times, like Heal the World. Do you remember that, Jesse?
Negative, I do not.
You never remember Heal the World? Oh, okay. We'll heal the world to the sunshine. It was a big like international. All right, never mind. I guess I'm too old. My point is this, people. We have to take a break. I've got stories up the wazoo here we should share, but I just want to throw this out there to those listening. Okay, good idea, great idea, or amazing idea. I'm just telling you. Okay, so maybe if you got like a musical person that you're like, you know what, I've been wanting to watch them in concert, refer them. Send them along my way, or send them this video, or just say, hey, he's starting up every other week. Fantastic event. I'm debating because you look, free is one thing, but then you even if you pay like, I don't know what, I think a good starting amount is like at minimum maybe like $5.99, right? Would you pay to see a virtual experience with your favorite artist and or band? And if you wouldn't, what would kick it up the notch for you? Would it be like a live event where they have a conversation with you, like a behind the scenes, or a back, like after the event, like, hey guys, like you guys are the VIP experience, so you get to talk to this guest regularly right here. Like we're going to take you into another chat room, or how do you see that? Because there's ways to do it, and I'm trying to make it a fun experience had by all, so that you can connect with other music lovers and or friends or family that you haven't seen in a long time. Like, hey, Joey, guess what? Call up grandma. Pay for grandma. Wait, he's got buy two, get one free? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing that. And get grandma on, and we can all watch this like without taking grandma and putting her in harm's way. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think I've stumbled onto something really good. So there you go. That it's official. It's going to start this week. At least with the announcement. I don't know how long it's going to take to put together, but I like to work fast on this stuff. And streaming, I love streaming, and I've been a huge big live streaming person ever since forever. One time, Jesse, and let me ask you this: would you pay to see? I'm going to hold on to that one because I feel somebody's going to steal that one. Never mind. Because I guarantee there's going to be other ones going, yeah. I mean, it's nothing new. Online festivals have been going on for quite a while. Usually like YouTube Live, you got like, but not the kind where everybody's at home alone, right? We've never been at a time like this. Which, Italy. There's some news there. We're going to talk about that around the corner. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, people. Yes, I'm jazzed. You know why? Because I see opportunity where opportunity is like needed to go to the next level, right? I see opportunity to bring people together, and do so in such a way that makes an experience a shared experience had by all. Because you know why? I love the shared experience I have with you guys here on the morning show. I walk away usually happier. I look at the comments, not all the time, because lately I've like had to walk away and go down. I'm like, I used to go and like, oh, let me see, and but now I can't. So sometimes I miss your comments, so I apologize. But let's pull up some comments right now, and let's see what you guys have to say. And I love shared experiences because I feel like that we can learn so much from one another. Let's see. Rosalie, we'll start with you. Says, can't wait. I know, right? But name some like cool musical bands you really love that you would like pay to see. And I'm not talking like U2 or Def Leppard, or those guys are like way too like. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they'd want to be on Aaron Michael Sanchez Presents. But whatever. Let's see. Maria says, I like the VIP idea. Eh? And look, I mean, they could be from all over the world. I'm open to it as long as they have a good like audience. Like if it's somebody starting off in their garage, I say, well, then throw some free content up on Facebook. It's not hard to go streaming live on Facebook, by the way. But I feel bad for Amy because Amy does this each and every, I want to say Sunday at 1:00. You can go find her. And she just does it. But there was one week she was having a really difficult time. I could tell she has just terrible. And she pops up on my newsfeed regularly, and I'm like, hey, when are we going to do the ABC station? She's like, oh, I'm going through, So I'm like, okay. And then she was very raw and open about her life. And like, this is hard, people. I can't perform live. I can't. She used to travel and do tours. And I mean, I discovered her at the Santa Monica Promenade. But again, she had a full elaborate setup, and she sings with her whole heart. And I'm just like, how come she's not signed to a big label? Like, this is easy. Like, I know how to get it done, but so there you go. So I think you guys will agree with me. But I'd love to support our musical friends. And I like to start with Amy May. So I haven't talked to her about this part, but we'll see.
10 seconds.
All right, cool. People are like, describe her music. She has the potential to be bigger than Enya.
2 seconds.
But not all. Woo, Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience, our Facebook family, our Periscope family, our YouTube family, our LinkedIn family, and just our additional family members. Seriously, I feel like I know these people. Like, if we met in person, I think it would be like a big hurrah, right? Like, hey, this is like, I feel like I know them. They know us. They share their stories. Some of stuff, like, I'm like, wow, you know what? You learn a lot about people in our after show program. And it's the after show after the morning show, which if you want to join us, it's on live stream, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And so we kind of break it down each and every day. And somebody shared some very, very personal information that I was like, wow, thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that's going to help somebody. So there you go. If you ever missed that, follow me, Aaron Michael Sanchez, and on my social media, you can do so, which we're growing leaps and bounds. We're almost at 30,000 on Facebook, by the way. Thank you. I want to say a big thank you. Thank you for the people who watch around the world. We've got people, we did some of the numbers, and the stats are coming in from literally all places I didn't even know existed in the world. So I'm learning new things about new geography. So let us know on social media where you're tuning in from. We got people from Canada. We got, let's see, others. Let's see, Baltimore, Trinita Dorsey, saying hello from Baltimore. Says, Trinita says, if New Edition could get it together, they would be awesome. I'd be for that. Bring New Edition on Aaron Michael Sanchez Presents. I just got to figure out a good title. Aaron Michael, maybe it should be Aaron Michael Suggests, right? I suggest this band. Go check them out, right? But I want to hit up ones that are not typically seen and or heard, that are like discovery bands. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Jesse? I don't know. Are you like big on learning or getting to know new acts and or musical artists? You're like, you know what? I can support this new band, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm always up for listening to new bands because you never you'll get.
Yeah, I feel like that's what Dick Clark did back in the day, right? He brought in to the average household new music that they probably would have never heard, right? Mm-hmm. And or did he make popular what was already popular? I'm not sure, but there you go. I feel like there's a lot of musical artists that need their day in the sunshine. And honestly, they kind of need to get paid for it a little. Like, I think a percentage of the proceeds should go to the musical artists. A lot of these things, like certain TV appearances, some didn't even get paid. They just got featured, right? And it was like a like music videos. People that don't, I've actually produced 3 music videos in my lifetime. And you know, in these music videos, they're set as promo pieces, but you basically give it away. It's a giveaway. But the production time to put into a music video is equivalent sometimes to a short film. And so the production costs are high, right? So it's one thing for a big label to do this. They got the deep pockets, right? The Jennifer Lopez, right? Brand.
Yeah.
Okay, Jennifer Lopez. I mean, that just, she sells a lot of, and it's a promotional piece to sell more records, right? So I'm thinking of doing this. Like it being, no, somebody's gonna steal my idea. I always throw out my ideas and they always get stolen. So there you go. Anyway, I'm gonna hold on to that idea again because I do that. I do it all the time, and then I see it like 3 weeks later. Yep, it got taken. So I just say, man, whatever. But this one I'm gonna stick to. Primarily because coming up this Wednesday, I kid you not, this is one I need you guys to tune into. I don't tell you much ever to tune into any episodes. I go, if you tune in, great. If you don't, that's okay. But with this Wednesday, Amy May, I've been working a month and a half, kid you not, to get her on this show for your listening pleasure. And she's going to perform live right here on the radio and social media devices, okay? She's going to perform live from her own location, safe. We're all in different locations. Talk about social distancing, right? But I can't pay her. She can't pay me. We don't pay each other. I mean, you guys, if you want to donate on social media, you could do that, and I'll give her all the proceeds of what's raised that day. But she's got songs that you could download, right? Some of it for free, some of it not. And I say, if you can, get her latest the CD. But we'll promote that a little bit later. But if there's a musical artist in your own camp, meaning there's somebody that you're connected with, and they at least have an audience of, I don't know, like 15,000, right? Let's do this. Let's make a virtual meetup every other week. Maybe I should do like I don't know. I'm thinking outside the box because, for some people, like $5.99 each and every time might be a little steep. I don't know. I think it's a great idea, but whatever. Maybe you have the digital rights to like the live version of it. I don't even know. I haven't thought this through. Jesse, you got any ideas?
I might have a few, but I'll hold off on them right now.
See, Jesse wants to make his own money. He's like, no, I'm not going to give away the farm. It's all right. But you know what? I give away the farm all the time, and I hope somebody will take it at least a little because then they could do more good. I can't do it all, right? But there's things that I know that I'm never sharing because these are the secrets to the online experience. But there you go. So, all right, people. I need to take another break because we have a guest ready to go coming up around the corner. And this show, you may have already seen it. It's on HGTV's very own. They're pretty reliable. Good Bones. We got one of the contractors here on the show coming up around the corner. And if you love everything construction and or building, oh man, you're going to love this next interview. Coming up next here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned. All right, Jesse. Our next guest is. Are they ready to go? I didn't.
Nope. You said 8:40, not 8:30.
Oh yeah. Thank you. You're right. I did say that. I'm a little behind the 8 ball. All right. Let's go. You guys want to go to news? I feel like I don't want to talk news. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to skate around it, but it's not. It can't be all about Aaron Michael Sanchez Presents, right?
I don't know. What band would you like to listen to? Would you pay for?
U2.
Whoa?
Oh God, Jesse, don't say that. I feel so old right now.
I'm sorry, I know what you're talking about.
No, you know what? Just I hate that when you tell the youth of today, they go, "Who's that?" Right? Like Eddie Van Halen. Who's that?
What? No, I'll slap someone if they say that.
You're like,
I'm like,
Oh,
what'd he say?
I'm just saying. I mean, you can't look. I know some pretty big artists. I just don't know like YouTube. You know what I mean? Personally, I can't pick them up. That's the thing. Great thing about certain promoters. They have these people, but oh man, working with musicians can be a headache, Jesse. I don't even know what I'm opening myself up to.
Right.
Some musicians
What?
will not show up on time. What do you do then? You run a lot of ads. You run a lot of. Hopefully they'll be here. Oh man, they don't got their data connected, right? There's so much, and then you got certain people that are like, "Yeah, we're awesome. You're not," and you're like, "Really?" I worked with musical artists in the past, licensing stuff. It was a pain in the butt. I'm gonna make it simple. You want to be seen and heard. You want to make a little something. A lot of venues, people and artists pay to play. Did you know that?
I've recently discovered that.
It's a thing. They pay to play. I don't want to do that. Hey guys, you want to, contribute to that? I'm not about that. So when you're a fan and you pay in to hear them, it helps. But a lot of these venues, oddly enough, if you ask them, like they make money if you buy liquor. That's why there's a 2-drink minimum. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But you're like, well, it's liquor. I wanted the liquor anyway. But that's why it's marked up so that they can make a percentage of liquor sales. Does that make sense?
20 seconds.
But I can't sell you liquor. So it's got to be a trade-off.
Right. Yeah. 5 seconds.
All right. Thank you.
That's littleandsons.com.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. This Wednesday, I can't speak highly about it. I'm really excited. I think when you hear her music, you'll understand. You'll be like, okay, I'm sold. Amy May, people. Amy May. Just remember that name. Amy May. Amy May. Amy May. It's Amy May. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of something like to get her like name known because I feel she's the next big thing. I really do. And I almost want to claim I discovered her because I did. But I can't claim too much. But we're going to have her here on the show this Wednesday. And I think it's at a pivotal time in our history. No truth to the rumor. We're living through a pandemic, people. It's a pandemic of proportionate sizes. And unfortunately, we need to feel no longer alone. We need to practice social distancing. I get that much. Be careful because in the news, this is what's going on. Here's the reality, people. Like this one. Italy closing gyms and eateries to fight COVID-19. Yep, we're back to that. Cases here in the US, the deaths currently, and this is again in one given year, 225,000. Gone are the days of the people that said, oh, it's just the flu. The flu, we already did the numbers as of last week. The worst year of the flu, because the flu does kill people, for those that don't know, especially seniors and or people with other diseases, right? That are like prone to pneumonia. People die of pneumonia, people. The worst year for the regular flu, 55,000. You understand where we're, and that's just in the US of America. Now we just surpassed 225,000. Do you understand why I'm so happy about doing Aaron Michael Sanchez Presents a musical guest, right? Because I want people, A, to have fun, B, to not feel alone, and C, music is a unifying topic no matter what race, religion. Well, I mean, there's gospel, right? There is gospel. Gospel's like kind of you're okay. Some people don't appreciate gospel, right? Unless you're like Christian. I don't know. I there's parts like I love this song. It's called Hallelujah, right? So I have another guest, Cindy Gomez, by the way. I should tap into Cindy. Cindy's fantastic as well. She sent me this video on her rendition of Hallelujah. And I thought, you know what? Thank you for sending that. That makes me feel good, right? And she put it up on YouTube. But gone are the days of seeing unless you guys want to do the bubble thing, right? Did you guys see that? The bubble? I talked about it briefly, Jesse. There's a bubble banned. I'm not going to get upset at this. I thought it was actually a really good idea. If you've been on social media, you've already seen it, right?
Yeah, I remember were we talking about this a couple of days ago?
The Flaming Lips, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The Flaming Lips, bunch of bubbles, and they're fans in bubbles as well. Let's see. It says here the rock musicians from Oklahoma City, which guaranteed nobody knew of them until this happened, right? They were smart, probably the smartest. Like I didn't know about them. I don't know about you. Are blowing up using inflatable human-sized bubbles to defend themselves and fans against COVID-19 while finding a way to play live. I can't hate on this, Jesse.
How do they get oxygen in the bubbles?
I don't know. Performing at the Criterion, there's probably like a certain amount of time. Don't breathe too heavy. You're gonna take up your own air. At the Criterion in their hometown on Monday evening, the Flaming Lips placed themselves and all attending fans inside individual plastic spheres. The concert, which was part live show, part music video shoot. There it is. There it is. It was also a music video shoot. Okay, I didn't know that. Was born out of a sketch doodled by Wayne Coyne during the pandemic's early days. The frontman told a news agency, 19, and I'm the only person in this space bubble, and everybody else is just normal. Oh my God, he saw this. Let's see. Then I did another drawing with the Flaming Lips playing a show in 2020, the exact same scenario, but I'm in a bubble, and so is everybody else. At the time, he says the idea was more or less a social commentary on the state of virus, with the thinking that COVID-19 would never linger long enough to see the bubble experiment fully inflate. I get it. He was like, this isn't going to happen. By the time we do it, it's going to be over. Nope. He says this, I don't think anybody would have thought in the middle of March that this is still going to be going. 8 months later, that was, I think we all thought this is a month. This is maybe 2 months, but we're going to get a handle on this. Well, that was what he thought. If you would have listened to the morning show, I would have told you it's not going away anytime soon. I was hoping it would, but it's just not. But there you go. That inspired them to keep going. They says, we do a couple of songs with about 30 people in the bubbles. We start to think, well, just from doing that, we start to get an idea. We could actually do it. It could actually happen. I'm not going to lie. It's not a bad idea. The space bubbles have long been a part of the Flaming Lips stage shows, so Coyne and company were familiar with a series of inflatable orbs. After setting the specs, the band ordered 100 bubbles from China and this unique music event. One first drawn up on Coyne's sketch pad was ready to pop. Of course. He said, since May, the desire to see the live music has gotten, more and more amplified. And look, this was a great idea. Marketing done right. He says, right at a little after 6, we already had enough people. With a couple hundred fans floating about, the Flaming Lips performed a dance remix of Assassins of Youth, Brother Eye, a pair of tracks from their latest LP, American Head. Coyne captioned an Instagram post from the show and posted, yes, a nod to the feet that they had actually pulled it off. He said this, I like the way this looks because you can get as excited as you want. You can scream as much as you want, and you just can't infect the person next to you, no matter what you forget about. You're excited, right? That barrier's still there. They're protected. You're protected. That part of it is what we really feel like was the success. So are bouncing bubbles with fans and bands a new thing? I would venture to say, I don't know. I got questions that need answers. But you know what? No truth to the rumor. Not a bad idea. Okay, we need to take a break here. We got our guests getting ready to go in the wings there. Coming up next, all the way from a special show. Yes, HGTV show Good Bones. And he's also the assistant project manager for Two Chicks with the Hammer, Tad Starziak, joining us next here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned. All right, people, this is our commercial break. If this is your very first time, please let us know where you're tuning in from. There you go. I'm getting excited for this week because I see opportunity where opportunity is at. And I've done some things in the past, which I always wonder, is anybody going to want to watch? Because I used to do live streaming events way back in the day, Jesse, before it was popular, before Facebook took it on. And I used to have to teach people how to go. Like, they're like, why do I want to watch on my computer? I'm like, why would you not? It's live, right? You don't have to travel there. You get to save gas, right?
Good idea.
Webinars are all the rage, boring as can be, but saves people time in business, right? I was one of the first ones to say, hey, this is going to be a big thing. I remember when the iPad came out, or it was going to come out, they were announcing it. And I told my friend, this is before I got in entertainment. I said, it's going to be a game changer, guaranteed, because everybody can watch it. They're going to start watching this on their own device, and it's going to be amazing. Now, I didn't see internet catching up as fast as possible. It took a while, longer than I expected, to be honest. But now that 5G is here, oh man, speeds are lightning fast, Jesse. So you can watch on your app this cool musical festival, by the way, and comment through social media and participate. Maybe we'll tie into a nonprofit that makes sense,
Yeah.
Raise some funds for the nonprofit, the musical artist, and for the production of the show, because it does cost money to put these things together. So I'm just saying. So if you want to participate, find me on social media, and or if you got guests, I've already got a couple people saying I got some referrals, which that's how I used to get the word out. I said, hey, if you guys know really good musical guests. Now, some of them are prima donnas. I don't want to work with prima donnas. If I experience that they're a prima donna, I go, oh, we'll call you back. Bye-bye. Because it's a lot of work to work with prima donnas. Don't be a prima donna if you're a musician, okay? If you're, seriously, unless you're U2 or you're the Rolling Stones, be grateful, right?
Right. Don't be a prima donna. Be a Post Malone.
Or be Madonna, right? And if Madonna wants to go, what? It's like Madonna has the right to be prima donna-ish, right? But I don't think she was always prima donna. I think she had to pull a lot of favors in the beginning. But sometimes it's funny. Lady Gaga, one of the nicest ladies out there. Once she got over her branding, right? Now she's preaching love, preaching peace. It's amazing. And you're like, oh, I didn't see that version. Well, you didn't look hard enough, or maybe she didn't want you to see that because she's making a brand pop out.
2 seconds.
Yeah, it's a thing. There's a business behind it. It's welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining us right now is somebody who knows a lot about everything, especially when it comes to the home environment. Well, I'm talking about Tad Starziak of the HGTV show Good Bones, who's teaming up with Lotrimin for their Stand with Confidence campaign. It's aiming to encourage consumers to stand up for what they believe in and vote. He's also the assistant project manager and contractor for Two Chicks and a Hammer. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Tad.
Hey, thank you for having me so much. It's a great joy to be here with you today.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you, by the way. Bringing up this awareness. Look, Lotrimin, I use it. Athlete's foot. It's a thing. It's good for other things as well that I don't really want to mention, but maybe you might want to share with us.
Yeah. So I'm teamed up with Lotrimin right now, and now more than ever, it's super important for all of us to use our voice and make sure it's heard. So Lotrimin has their Stand with Confidence campaign that launched earlier this month ahead of the election, and it's encouraging people to have the confidence to stand up and use their voice on Election Day, November 3rd, which is fastly approaching. And Lotrimin is very relevant in my life as a contractor and doing a lot of labor work. I spend a lot of time on my feet, 10 to 12 hours. So I'm super proud to be teaming up with Lotrimin. And for those who don't know what it is, they're a leading foot care over-the-counter brand that helps provide a preventative solution and cure for athlete's foot and other foot ailments such as wetness and odor. And they're going above and beyond with their Stand with Confidence campaign, where they're not just trying to, help you and your feet. They're also trying to help you stand confidently by supporting people to stand up for what they believe in and go vote. And I'm so blessed to be doing this with them.
Yeah, Tad, I'm the first one to admit I never admit that I have athlete's foot. Okay, and I'm glad they call it athlete's foot because it makes me feel kind of like, yeah, that's right, I'm an athlete. But I don't think of contractors the same way, and I think I should. Because usually you wear the big heavy boots, right? You don't want to get the nail, and you're you're sealed up tight, right? Which causes for many, you don't need to be an athlete. You could be a contractor foot.
Well, yeah, and I'm also someone who I sweat excessively. In Indiana, we have hot, very humid summers, so that sweat will go down my legs. It'll get into my socks. So then my foot gets wet, starts to itch. I get the odor, athlete's foot. So Lotrimin has actually been something that's been super helpful for me, so I can be more comfortable. And, that also relates to like the current times, because I've seen some of the stories online where people are standing in line for as long as 11 hours to vote right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Lotrimin, yeah. And, if you have a foot condition, you're like, that's a long time to be standing, so Lotrimin can give you that comfort of just, okay, I just have to wait in this line and vote. I don't have to worry about my foot itching or, some total discomfort. So Lotrimin is doing a great job for helping people get out and vote and also taking care of people's feet.
Well, and obviously, look, and no truth to the rumor, HGTV doing some really cool stuff. I got to ask, though, before, we move on to more of Lotrimin information, that moment they said, dude, you're going to be on television, and you're like, were you like hesitant at first, or were you like all in?
I'm a very outgoing guy, so I was like all about it. I thought it was really cool. But for those of us that have seen Talladega Nights, it was very much like Ricky Bobby, like didn't know what to do with my hands, like kind of screamed at the camera a little bit. So first it was a little awkward, but you get used to it.
Yeah, no, I get it. Because it's like, wait, like, and then they're just like, be you, right? You're like, how am I me? I don't even pay attention to me, right? Like, but there you go. Tad, obviously, look, voting's important. For those that are kind of on the fence right now on whether or not they want, because I feel like sometimes people go, I don't know if I have a good choice, but what would be your recommendation in order to make any well, let's put it this way, to make an informed choice?
And I think, yeah, so one of the things like, Lotrimin is doing with their Stand with Confidence campaign, so you can check this out too. So they're actually unveiling a series of Instagram and Snapchat filters to give people shareable tools to express the issues they care about during this like very important election year. So if you're like scrolling on social media, you can look for these filters. You can post something, and then you can also view what other people are talking about. So obviously more important than anything, you have to have awareness, and then after awareness, you have to do some critical thinking and gaining some knowledge. So Lotrimin has tapped into several notable names like myself to join with them, to call on consumers, to show what they stand for or find out what they stand for, because we all have opinions and we share them quite often. But it doesn't really mean much if we don't take those beliefs and put them into action.
Yeah.
It's so important that we all get out there and vote.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, we're talking to the man behind a lot of really cool projects. You can see on HGTV show Good Bones, Two Chicks with the Hammer. And look, I got a question, Tad. Obviously, Good Bones is all about what? For those that may not have tuned in, that are looking for some good content.
Yeah, so Good Bones is all about revitalizing our hometown, downtown area of Indy, one house at a time. So one of the big correlations between the Stand with Confidence campaign and Good Bones is like on a micro scale here in Indy, we're making a difference in our neighborhoods. And then on a macro scale, I get to work with Lotrimin to create a bigger impact in the world, and there's a lot of parallels. Like, in construction, you have to find a house that has a strong foundation. And in many ways, voting is that foundation of our democracy. So whether, you're left or you're right, we still have to work together and make sure our voices are heard to create that strong democracy.
Tad, I'm glad you mentioned that, because at the end of this, look, we've all got to get along at the end of this, right? My fear, honestly, is that both the right and the left will be so upset with one another after the election happens that we're in it to win it. And what I mean by that is, look, I know the construction industry is kind of not doing as well as it should be doing. Any recommendations there? Like, if you were the president, what you would recommend being done?
So Martin Luther King Jr. has got a really good quote I like a lot. And it's, we've let our physical means far outweigh our spiritual means. So today we move so fast and we have so much technology that we don't typically use it very well. and we don't have the spiritual acumen how to use those things correctly. So we're on Facebook and Instagram and all these social media platforms. There's so much divisiveness spewed. It's a beautiful thing when like Lotriman is like, no, just let's talk about what you care about, what's important to you, and bring the topic to light, without it having to be a, very polarized, topic, so I would just encourage people to, get back to the basics of almost being childlike. You're taught to be kind, you're taught to respect others, and we're not all going to believe the same things. And that's a beautiful thing about our country. And it's beautiful that, companies like Lotriman, like, while they're taking care of your feet, and you're standing in line for 11 hours, they're also encouraging you to go out and vote, so.
Well, Tad, I don't want to go back to the days of like the dark ages where the king tells you everything to do and you got no voice. So I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Thank you for spending time with us here on the morning show.
Hey, it was my great pleasure. And for anybody else who's interested, lotriman.com/stand with confidence. And Lotriman will help you stand with confidence, whether you're walking to the polls or to their mailbox.
There it is. Lotriman, go check it out. I use it, by the way, and I can tell you it works. It's fast, too, really fast. So go check it out. Very good information. Actually, we're going to take another break here on the morning show. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. Sorry, Jesse. I knew I threw you under the bus there. I couldn't remember if we took a fourth break or not, or third break. I'm a little out of it. I have like 3 Red Bulls right here right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of felt that you were gonna do that, so I saved an extra.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh,
see,
good.
I already knew what you were gonna do.
You know what? I appreciate you so much right now because I'm like, should I? Should I not? Should I? I feel like this needs to go to a break. Oh man, dude. All right. Let's see. We appreciate each and every one of you, but go check it out. It's the show on HGTV. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen this show. Okay. Good Bones. I want to see it. It looks amazing. For those of you wondering what it's about, construction. And I used to love to watch these things because I used to like, especially when they rehabilitate homes. Oh man, I loved it. But it's he helps with everything from demos to rebuilds to complete HGTV style renovations. Ted seems to love what he does for a living, and he always has a lively demeanor. But the show right there, you can check it out. Teaming with Good Bones and such. But very cool. And I think it's a mother-daughter show, and they use him to do the work. But, you know, I don't know how much work they do themselves, but I'm pretty sure when you wear a tool belt, you do the work as well. So I'm pretty sure they're pretty handy.
30 seconds.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. All right. Let's pull up social media comments. Let's see here. I didn't like what he said, right? I think he's sharing what we've said here on the show. I don't care what you believe. We all got to get along in the end, right? Right, Jesse?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. Let's agree to disagree at the end. All right. You don't agree with me. That's fine. Doesn't mean you can
10 seconds.
Throw mud in my face. But, you know, I mean, words is one thing. People are throwing bullets around, you know, people are getting crazy.
2 seconds.
All right, cool. Welcome back. It is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, LinkedIn, let's see, Apple TV as well. And we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget Alexa. Say, Alexa, I want to listen to KMET 1490 AM. We've got a lot of great programming here at the station. Much of which I honestly never get to listen to, but I get great feedback from some of our other broadcasters here on the show. And I always love to promote Dave Ramsey financially getting out of debt. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are going financially into debt because they can't pay their credit cards, right? And or debts or outstanding debts and or homes and or rentals and or anything that they want to try to pay for. Some are getting it's so difficult, people. It's so difficult. But I got to do a shout out to the I don't know if I should do this shout out. I should keep that to myself. I'm going to keep it for after show programming. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to preface it. If you guys are tuning in on the radio and you want to join me on this, okay, I'm going to discuss how long does it take to come to a regular vote. Jesse, how long do you think it should take to come to a regular vote when you meet with like, oh, I don't know, 300 people in a particular room? How long do you think that should take?
Voting for what?
Just for anything. Like, you know, what music we should listen to. Like, I could probably take a tally right now over our social media audience and they say yay or nay, type it out, right? How long do you think that would take?
I don't know. I have no idea. Depends on how long you want to keep the polling going.
Do you think it would take like an hour and a half? If they all had the ability to do it like instantaneously?
Yeah, I think so. If everyone answered.
Well, the Senate, I watched, if you guys have never watched, and I hate watching these things. I really do. They're so boring. Okay. But then I go, well, if I ever had to like become a senator, would I want to make it more modern? And the answer is yes. Have you guys watched a Senate meeting? Kid you not. I saw them vote on 3 different topics. One of which was like, we're going to strike to move the nomination after November. How many yays or nays? And the ones that I saw were all yay for that, right? Like, yay, we're going to move it. And then all of a sudden they reconvene over the weekend, and all of a sudden now they're moving it forward anyway. I'm like, well, what happened? But I kid you not, when they did the yays or nays, Jesse, I kid you not, it took an hour and a half. Joanne, yay. Brian, nay. Judy, yay. I mean, they don't call them like they do first name and last name. But I'm like, are we living in the dark ages, people? How hard is... Okay, remember Love Connection? Does anybody remember Love Connection? Right? Okay, guys, we're going to tabulate which of these 3 suitors you think they should actually go out with. We'll pay for it if it is a match, and go ahead and do that. We'll be back in 2 and 2. What did they do? No, they went... Well, it looks like Johnny's the one that they've... And you didn't go out with Johnny. You didn't want to pick Johnny. Everybody's like, Johnny would have been good for you. All right, well, it's been great here on Love. Yeah, and that was done in less than seconds. That was done, what, in the 1985? It takes an hour. You're hard-paying, tax-paying dollars. They're just taking their time voting. Yay, nay, an hour and a half, people. Come on, technology's here. Let's get with it. There's way too many old people running the show over there. I'm sorry. We need some new blood in there, seriously. Okay, I'm done. I'm over. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Bye-bye, everybody. Am I the only one, though? Seriously, I am so upset. I saw this on Friday. I sat there and I thought, maybe I'll get some really good. Something just told me, just watch. Just wait and see what happens here. And I kid you not. Here's the story, okay? For those of you tuning in over at the house, and I guarantee this part's probably going to be kind of boring for you. So I'm going to keep it short, fast, and sweet, okay? The Senate, and this is big news, by the way, huge news. And look, Kamala, I don't disagree with her. Kamala said something on Twitter, okay? And I told you, Kamala, right now, so far, she's leading in my head, okay? If I could just vote for her and kick out Biden, I'd be all for her and not for Biden. I think Biden's ineffectual. I know some of you are going to be really mad that I said that, but I really think if we're like really raw about it, I feel Biden is ineffectual. I really do. I feel Kamala needs to go toe-to-toe with Trump. Can we just make that happen? Why can't we just break the rules? I don't think VP should go against VP. I think Kamala should go again. They should do a tag team, right? Like WWE wrestling. Right? Tag team. Okay, I'm in. I got this. Don't worry about it. I got this. Kamala would bury Trump right away. Right? No, come on. I would pay to see that. But Kamala said this, and I agree with her because I saw it. But I saw it on Friday. Okay. The news came in as of recent that the Supreme Court nominee, who happens to be Trump's candidate, Republican, got rushed over the weekend. So somebody had a lot of time on this weekend. They're like, I'm not doing nothing, so let's do this. So let me just ask you something, all right? Are you financially hurting over there? And if you're saying no, you got stockpiles of money and or food that probably people don't know about. You're probably ahead of the game, right? But I'm venturing to guess at least 89% of you probably are wondering about the almighty dollar. And if not, you probably should. Okay. But in reality, look, coronavirus is not going anywhere. November 3rd is going to come and go, and the coronavirus is still going to stay here with whatever president gets elected. Okay. So I'm going to be the first to say this. What's going on? Why are we not doing the right thing, people? Why are we voting in? Well, let's put it this way. If you could vote in or rush a candidate, a nominee, which, by the way, this is the first time in history. I wasn't aware of this. I had to look it up. First time in history, the judge is being rushed prior to the election. Whereas the Democratic Party says, can we just wait? Because this feels rushed. Like we've never done it this quick, ever. Why are we doing it so quick? Which everybody knows why, but they're like, right. So that was a discussion on Friday. But let me fast forward to Kamala. She said this: the American people will not forget that instead of passing adequate COVID-19 relief legislation to help the American people, Senate Republicans worked through the weekend to rush a vote tomorrow to confirm Trump's Supreme Court nominee. And she said some other things as well. I'm just reading them ahead of time. But look, Kamala, I agree with you on this. I sat there, and I'm not gonna lie. I was a little like, there's so much news I have to research and watch. I'm the first one to admit I hate politics. It absolutely disgusts me. It really does. I don't even like talking about it. I don't even like thinking about it. I used to love my life when I said, nah, it's not for me. I don't want to talk about it. I'm good. I used to be so like anti-politics. I didn't even want to talk politics. Does that make sense? I'm the first person in the room that says, cool. Can we all be friends? Okay, cool. Right? I'm that guy. You believe in that? Okay, cool. You believe in that? Cool. Awesome. We can still hang out. Do you like tacos? Right? That's me. Do you like tacos? That's my question. If you like tacos, we can hang, right? If you like burgers with steak, we can hang. If you're a vegan, I'm gonna still eat my meat, but I will respect you enough to be like, I'll order the cauliflower too, because I'm that guy. Right? I like to get along with people. I don't like to be anti-people. I love to be friends with people, right? So I'm the first one that has always said, hey, you know what? Trump doesn't care if you're Democrat or Republican. As long as you stay in his hotel, he'll take your money, right? Wrong, right? Well, Trump used to be Democratic until he got the vote to be Republican. Remember that when the first time he ran, he's like, look, I'll run independent if I need to. You guys don't want to take me? I'll just run. And then Republicans like, no, we'll take you, right? He was willing to run any race. I'm all Republican. But look, he changed. People change all the time. People go from Republican to Democratic to Republican. What do? They go, oh, sorry, friends, I can't be your friends anymore. No, they're like, hey, Joey, you still Republican? Yeah, you're such a dummy, but whatever. I still love you, right? Since when did we get to a nation of what I call hypocrites? Hypocritical. Say one thing, do another. Vote one thing, but do another. Believe one thing, but do another. It's ridiculous, people. It's ridiculous. Okay, so back to the question at hand. What takes so long to take an hour and a half vote, yay, nay, to go around the room? Have you guys seen this? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I wish I could play like a clip back for you. But this is how it goes, basically. Joey, yeah, yay or nay? Yay. Joanne, yay or nay? Nay. Liam, yay or nay? You don't like turkey. What do you mean you don't like turkey? Well, you get turkey anyway because you never had good turkey, right? That's a family discussion, like, right? That's a family of 8, probably, right? Yeah or nay? No. You know what they do? Hold your hands up, right? Everybody, okay, majority vote, boom, done, right? Most businesses operate this way, not the Senate. The least productive time going around the room, down the list, yeah or nay, with pen. And so, somebody's going right with the button. That's one for us. Oh, that's one for them. That's one for us. Ooh, that's 2 for us. Right? An hour and a half to vote, yay or nay, on moving to strike to delay. But then all of a sudden over the weekend, and I don't care whether you like or hate the lady or Republican or Democratic. I'm not even discussing that. I'm just saying, but here they are rushing this, which begs the question, why are they rushing? But more importantly, how come they can't rush to help the American people? Why did that get put on the back burner depending on who wins or does it? Isn't the right thing to help the American people, whether they're Democratic or Republican and or independent or don't even want to vote? You know how many of the nation actually don't vote each and every year? Let me pull up an interesting stat, okay? People who vote every election in the U.S., okay? Now, look, the U.S. is different than other countries, right? More often than not, yeah, no, maybe so. Let me click on this one, okay? The average, there's numbers everywhere. Okay, I just want a hard, fast number. Just give me the number. Well, what do you think it is? Let's do some theories in social media. What do you think? Again, there's approximately 380 million people, all right? Granted, not everybody's of legal age, but recently I think in Florida, if you're a felon, now you can vote. Like, well, some people are really desperate. They're making you used to be unable to vote if you were a felon, right? But I get it. You need as many votes, right? So here we go. Okay. The average. Okay, here we go. And here's some hard, fast numbers you might be pretty interested about. I'm sorry. I'm looking at all kinds of numbers here. So let's put it this way, okay? It's a lot. It's not as many as you would think, though. More than 257 million people in the U.S. are 18 or older. Okay, so there you go. That's a good stat, all right? We have about 380 million of them, 18 or older, are to about more than 257 million, all right? Nearly 240 million citizens are eligible to vote this year. That's according to Michael McDonald, a professor at the University of Florida who runs the U.S. Elections Project. Eligible voters include people living overseas, but not non-citizens or people convicted of a felony, which, again, depending on state law in Florida, hello, you got a felony, you can vote now. It's possible, though, that 85 million people could vote before November 3rd, with 150 million voting in total. All right, so I just want you to take that math, right? 257 million, 85 million. There's a lot of people that don't care. I'm not gonna lie, I'm right up there with them because I no truth to the rumor. I'm kind of like, no, somebody's gonna be voted in one way or the other, right? It says that would mean an eligible voter turnout rate of more than 62% if they got to 150 million voting in total. Okay. Oh, so about half. That's what they're going for. This like half of the nation actually cares, whereas the others just say, whatever. Here's some stats, okay? Here we go. This is what I was looking for. All presidential elections in the last 50 years ranked by highest eligible voter turnout rate. Again, of the eligible voter. Got it? And let's see. Number 5 on the list is Bill Clinton versus George Bush with 58.1%. Number 4 came in with Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney, 58%. Number 3 was George Bush against John Kerry. That was 60%. Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. That was 60%. Pretty high year there. And of course, Barack Obama versus John McCain, 61%. So it's actually steadily increased over time, by the way. Let's see. The least year on this list, number 12, with Bill Clinton versus Bob Dole. All right. So more often than not of the eligible voters, but there's still big fraction. That I kind of want to ask why. Why did you not? If you were registered to vote, why would you not? I just have that question. I feel like asking that question of people because I think it would come down to, because I talked to a few. Some were like, I didn't even vote for either candidate in the last election. I was like, well, why is that? Well, one was like, well, Hillary's crooked. If you look at her background, like she's crooked. And then they're like, but Donald is no better. And I remember, and this was coming from Republicans, by the way. So I have a feeling a lot of Republicans aren't voting because they're just like ashamed. You don't believe me? Ask some interesting people in your circle that are like, just, but don't judge them at the end. I don't judge them. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, because I'm the first one to admit I've never, ever, ever, ever voted in my life. Okay. And honestly, I almost look, here's what I say. If you do the right thing for the people, well, then you're doing what you should be doing, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But shouldn't that be based on, oh no, it's a popularity vote, right? Whoever wins the most votes, right, gets the popular vote. But then what ends up happening? At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, every single promise, it's always the same. We're lower taxes, right? That's number 1. We're going to make America great again. That's number 2. By the way, that's a slogan from Ronald Reagan. It's borrowed. It's been used. It's not the first time, people. Make America great again. Go look it up. But my point is this, okay? As of late, the only time, and I had this discussion because people are like, you never used to be so political and inclined to talk about politics. I go, well, yeah, I never had to deal with coronavirus either. All right? My whole reason for being more political than not, or at least discussing the facts, is let's separate the truth from the rumors. That's it. Okay? Whoever you vote for are the people that you vote for, right? And as of late, and I've been very adamant about it. Look, if I hit the big winnings, boom, I'll run for president. But there's no time to run, right? Maybe in the next election. I don't even know if that's going to happen. My point is this, people. Look, at the end of the day, whether you're running for office and or not, you have to have over $1 billion in order to run. Do you understand? So in order to even win, you got to have a pretty good solid base of funding. All right. And in order to get funding, you got to go shake some hands, make some nods, and make some promises. True or true? True. That's why I think a lot of people were so happy. I just saw some people like, yay, we're voting. And adamantly so. Somebody, one of like a pro-Trump person on Facebook says, so why are you voting for Trump? And every single person had a different viewpoint. None of them were the same, but they were all different. But a few were like, because he's a great businessman. Did you do the fact check? Okay, whatever. Another one, I couldn't argue this because he's going to lower taxes. Or no, it wasn't that. He's not going to raise taxes, right? Well, Biden said he'd raise taxes on the wealthy over 300 or close to 400,000, right? Above. And I said, I don't think you should do that. I think you should do the 2.5 million above, because we've done that in our history. Like, that's fact. If you're going to pull facts, pull facts. In the Great Depression, the equivalent at the time was 250,000 and above were taxed at a very high rate, higher than 61%, by the way. But they did it in post-war times or during war and or the Great Depression. And then they rebounded within 8 to 9 years, by the way. And then you saw a super profitable time eventually, even through the Great Depression. Now, I don't know what this time is going to be called in 8 or 9 years, but we're going to look back at it. Hopefully we will have survived it together. And hopefully we'll say, well, what do we learn from that? It was I'm so glad for it's over. Right. So I say, look, people, we're at a very pivotal moment. We're living through a moment that will be marked down forever in history. And you've got 2 candidates that can't even agree to disagree on certain topics. That just like some of the questions that I saw, I've been keeping quiet about, because I saw questions not being answered by either subject. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, the subject line was this: there are approximately over 500, I forget the math on the actual number, 500 migrant kids without their parents. I'm just going to say, they probably should have said this. There's over 500 kids without their parents. Leave it at that. What are you going to do to reunite them? I'm telling you, some of these questions are so politically charged, but if you answer the question with a question of a question of a question, that's typical politics, right? Trump's smart. He always says, but I'm not a politician. You are now, but whatever. But he goes, that's a very interesting Paul, and he's right. He's not wrong. Was he ever? He says, I ran originally because of what Obama was doing. I disagree with that. I think you always knew you were going to run. I think you just used that as a preface, because at the end of it all, like, you were claiming stuff about that made no sense. Like even then, right? He's not even. He's not a. I don't know where he was born, and he's Muslim, and you're attacking his faith. You understand what I'm saying? So my point is, it wasn't based on all the issues. Maybe as a businessman, you want to put more money in your pocket. I get that. That's why you did business with China. I get that. I understand it. It's worldwide economy, and I can't fault you. And for those tuning in, Trump did business in China. I say, so what? So what? He did business in China. Yeah, we you know how many films come from China and or go to China? I used to participate in the American film market. Oh, I'm going to do that this year as well, by the way. And it's an international film festival, seriously, of sorts. People buy, sell property, films, left and right and center. You know how many films get funded by China? If they shoot in China and there's a scene in China or Beijing, I think Mission Impossible did a scene in China, right? There's funding coming from China. Okay, so I'm a little upset by certain people in the world that go, yeah, but he did business. Of course, he did business with China. Everybody does business with China. Do you have stuff made in China? Then okay. You understand? So I'm not here to attack Trump on business with China because I'm like, use your thinking cap, people. That's called a politically charged situation. They're trying to make you all anti-Trump based on his ties with China. Of course, he has money invested in China. Who doesn't? Seriously, the majority of companies have money invested in China and or get their garments from China relabeled. It's a thing. China's a huge, huge, huge exporter of stuff. Okay, so agree or disagree. But my point is this. This isn't a pro-Trump and or pro-Biden. This is called a think with your thinking cap. That's it. Think with the thinking cap, okay? That's it. Just use that. You do that, and you'll be good to go. Let's go to comments, okay? Let's scroll up here. I'm going to go here. And a little bit tighter. Let's see. Let's scroll up right here. Let's see. All right. I like this one. Yeah. Okay. This is different. I don't even know what this means. She was talking about during our show. Maria says, Jesse, the tour was in support of the band's YouTube animatic series Tenacious D and Post Apocalypto and its accompanying soundtrack album Post Apocalypto, which were released in November 2018. She's talking, I believe, about it was called Band-Aid. What, right? What is that? What it was? Which were released in November 2018. The tour began on November 3rd, 2018, and ended on February 26, 2020. They stopped because of COVID-19. Oh, maybe she's talking about something else. I'm not sure. There's a lot of statements here like this that kind of. Here's another one. Contact Isabel on Facebook. Her music is awesome. All about self-image. Song. Yeah, let me bring this up. So go check out this artist. I don't know this artist. Her music is awesome. All about self-image. Song unlabeled. Great upcoming artist. Awesome. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Maria says, I like to watch Good Bones. They do some good projects. I just watched MJ's Dream Home yesterday. That's awesome. Let's see. Let me go down a little. Oh, Genie, I'm going to pull this out because I was thinking, I didn't want to say it. And I think he was thinking and he didn't want to say it. But Jock Itch, right? Low Trimming, which we had on the morning show earlier, is for Jock Itch as well and Athlete's Foot. But I kept it PG because I was like, I don't know. You want to talk about that? Yeah, guys, I got Jock Itch, just so you know, right? It's a thing, ladies. If you don't already know, it's a thing. Just like yeast infection. You know what that is. We don't. Let's see. Algenia says, I had a cousin went skating, caught athletic feet, and spread to jock. All right. So there you go. Let's see. Here's one. Let's see. France says, when we voted in class, I passed my iPad around for Red Ribbon Week Spirit Days, and the kids didn't take longer than 30 minutes for a classroom full of kids passing an iPad around. Thank you. Seriously, I think we can get more jobs done or fulfilled if the Senate just voted a little quicker. It's called technology, people. Look, use your iPad. It's simple. Yeah, everybody type in everybody's going. I mean, they're already streaming on Facebook. Seriously, just like vote there. People comment quicker than they vote. Let's see. Mario says that love connection took less than 2 minutes. Exactly. Thank you. You get what I'm pulling up there. Let's go down here. Let's see. People fact checking stuff. Let's see. All right. That's I won't say that. Somebody, and I get it. I won't throw your comment up because I feel that's a little slanted. I don't think here's the problem. You can't think the enemy is the other side. You cannot think that, because these are your friends and family members oftentimes. You know, I never used to care because I never used to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. I am a former non-voter, just so you know. I would never introduce myself like that. Now, I'm not going to lie. If I had to run, I'd run as independent. I would never be like align myself with just Republican or just Democratic. You know why? Because I think both sides have some truth to them. I really do. I think there's good thoughts in everybody. And then there's stupid thoughts. And then there's dumb thoughts. And then there's really dumb thoughts, right? Whenever you hear, there's no dumb question, Joey. Everybody's thinking in their head, right? Oh, there are some dumb questions, but I hope he doesn't ask a dumb question. Well, I think it's a dumb question, but here it is. And then you go, actually, that's a really good question, right? You know, that wasn't a dumb question. Then somebody says, can I go to the bathroom? Okay, that's a dumb question, but yeah, go ahead. Right? It's a thing. I like to be more real than let's placate everybody. There's no dumb question. That's meant to say, look, people, we need questions. There's no dumb question. Just ask a question. But then when the person asks a dumb question, everybody in the room goes, oh, that was a dumb question. We wish he should never have asked that question, right? Or there's a person that rambles on forever, right? Oh, I just have a question, but they never have a question. And the moderator, you don't know how many times I've been through these where I'm the one holding the mic and I'm like, and your question is, and they're like, I didn't have a question. I just had a statement. But you started with, I had a question. So you get what I'm saying? There's some things that really peeve me, but I go, okay, I still think you're a good human being. I don't vote in my head that they're forever a dumb person, right? I go, oh, that was a dumb moment, but you're not a dumb person. You get it? So I take a little back to anybody that says, oh, I hate the other side. Well, that side you gotta rub elbows with at some point. Seriously, if you're stuck in an airplane and or a moving vehicle and you got to get someplace, you're not gonna go, hey guys, what's your party affiliation? Everybody, you're all Republicans? Oh, I can't get in on the road with you. Next one. Do you do that? No. You meet on common ground and you agree with that, right? So let's meet on some common ground, people. Some common ground issues. Common ground issues. Okay. How hard is that? Oh, it's difficult for people because they like to be. Well, here's the thing, and it's been mentioned several times. It happened on today's show. I don't know if you heard it. At a more important time now than ever. Do I think voting's at an all-time high? I do, actually. I do. But do I think also hate, rhetoric, anger, mean-spirited people are getting worse than they ever have before in a short amount of time? I want you just to think back to the very beginning of the year. What was our concern at the time? What was it? Do you even remember? Kobe. Remember that? Kobe and his daughter. Beginning of the year, 2020. For me, that was a big, like, oh, man, right? And love or hate Trump. I mean, Trump was Trump, right? You're like, oh, okay, well, it gets on my nerves. He says, right? I mean, there were many times I held back because I was told adamantly, "Don't ever talk bad about Trump," and I said, "Okay, or okay, I'm cool with that. I don't talk politics anyway." So, and then I got questioned all the time on the show. Hey, can you put up some? I go, I don't like talking politics, but sometimes I had to do my job, right? I had to talk politics because I'd be told and or forced to interview a particular candidate and or person. And those of you that know and understand news, you can't say no, right? But I'd often say, well, all right, fine, let's put them on because I got got to do my job, right? So I'd listen and I'd listen and I'd listen. And some people I'm like, I like you. You should run, right? Because I can see leadership qualities a mile away. Or spend some time with somebody. You're like, you know what? You have your heart in the right place. I remember I told one person, this was in the city of Victorville, and I told him, I says, well, so why don't you run? And this was prior to coronavirus. Okay, we had him in this TV studio at the time, and he says, it's funny. I've often thought about it, but ... Now, behind the scenes, I've talked to politicians. I've talked to former mayors. I've talked to people that I can quickly make a call to say, hey, you guys want to be on the show? But here's what I keep seeing. A lot of words and no action. Where's the action, people? That's not true. I actually see a lot of action done, right? And anybody that is anti-politics and or anti-anything cannot forget there's a lot of good that is done in the world because of people trying to do the right thing, running a campaign and or making ends meet and or creating financial opportunities for other people. And that is what government is meant to be. True or true? So there's a lot of people that I know that are like, no, I hate politics. And I say, well, you know what? I don't like the back and forth of it all. And I don't even really, does anybody understand what the word politics actually means? To be politically in charge with hate, anger, madness, super suffering, and then some. Because lately, I think that's what politics has become. But politics has been a very heated topic throughout history. You don't believe me? Civil wars were started because of politics, right? Oh, no, it wasn't because of politics. It was because of the North versus the South on slavery. That's a heated topic. I get heated topics morally wrong. Oh, this is a moral issue, people. Moral issue. One wanted to get rid of slavery. The other was like, nope, pro-slavery, right? But that mindset is still in the human condition. It didn't start in America, by the way. It didn't. It comes from way back when. I once said it. Moses and the Jews, well, he wasn't a slave, but his people were, right? Free my people. Weren't his people. They were God's people, right? Free the people. By the people, for the people. Which the Constitution of the United States of America is very often kind of, I think a lot of people, I respect the Constitution, but a lot of people misalign what the Constitution was meant to do. We the people, for the people, all men created equal. Are you really created equal? I don't know. I'm not seeing that happen, right? You're probably wondering where I'm going with this, because here's the reality, people. If you're going to run for a public office, A, be as much as possible a good person. B, try to do the right thing. And C, do right by the people that you say you want to serve. Is that how people get voted in last year's coming elections? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Just checking. And look, love them or hate them, presidents of decades have often been, more often than not, you got some that are like, yay, some that are nay, some are just in between. And then you're like, wait to get rid of that one, right? But this year, what I've been seeing is a completely different mindset altogether. So I have to make my voice be heard in ways that I've never had it heard. Back to coronavirus, people. The pandemic is still here. Remember back in April? Don't worry. It'll go away. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm all for not worrying, but doing something about it, right? Let's not worry doesn't do anything, but let's think smart. Let's do the right thing. Let's put people at least on alert. Hey guys, your majority are going to get well, but we're going to have to face the coming months. They're going to be difficult. We are putting a plan together. It's going to help each and every person weather this out. And we're going to have to make some tough decisions. A lot of you are not going to like it. But we got to do the right thing. We can't have people dying left and right from something that can be prevented if no, that's not what happened. In the very beginning of it, World Health Organization, we're getting rid of them. Every other nation going, why? I want to save some money. Ooh, how much did you spend on money for your campaign as of yet? But whatever. Okay. Well, it's not his money, by the way, just so you know. Not all of it. People, some would probably wonder how much, like super PACs, look it up. It's an interesting thing. A lot of companies, corporations pay into campaigns for you to vote for a particular person because that person really is bought and paid for financially because they're going to make decisions for or against. Don't believe me? Everybody knows it. I'm not saying anything new. All right, people. So look, vote responsibly. I guess that's the subject at the end of the day. But vote, you know what? Vote. Okay, here's the reality. Look, everybody's going to go to the polls, and then everybody's going to be like half the nation or a quarter of the nation. I don't even know the numbers, but some people are going to be like, oh, really? And then other people are like, oh man, right? But we all got to work together because coronavirus isn't going away. It just isn't. I don't care about what Trump didn't do. We still got to deal with it. The deaths are at an all-time high, people. We're coming up around the corner with 285,000, I believe, by the end of the week because the numbers are surging bad. They really are. But people will believe or disbelieve me right here, right now. Nah, those are made up numbers. Okay. You go post this, okay? I keep posting, I keep reposting it, and I keep posting it, and I keep reposting it ever since July. And I have it on my profile somewhere. I'll repost it once I find it. Let me type it in. If you follow me on Twitter, coronavirus, Aaron M. Sanchez. I love Twitter. I find so much information on Twitter. It is amazing. I've been talking very heavily about this because my sister almost died from coronavirus. And I saw President Trump and I saw others just going, nah, it's not real. It's not real. And I said, you know, my sister got it. Oh. Well, I don't know. I watch YouTube videos and they say it's not real. It's not even real. But my sister had it. Oh. And I get that conversation. That was like 8 different people. Okay. I kid you not. And I was like, and after that, I almost felt like a little vindicated because I was like, at least now they're at least going, oh, it might be real, right? I saw the fear in their eyes all of a sudden go, the eyes dilate, right? And they're like, oh, and oftentimes they were like, I didn't know anybody that had it, right? But now we've gotten to the point where almost somebody that has it and or is going to have it and or is getting it right here, right now. This is the tweet. I'm going to retweet it. I'm already retweeting it. Follow me at Aaron M. Sanchez. If you have a story, I want to hear about it. I said this, as of recently, I have seen many COVID-19 or many think COVID-19 is either blown out of proportion or not real at all. This was back in July 12th, okay? And I keep retweeting this every now and then because I see new statements each and every time. Would you please comment if you know someone who is either battling COVID-19 or currently dead due to, this is a tweet to remind people to be safe, then sorry. All right, since then, a total of 37,000 people have seen it, okay? And a lot of comments, some of which I just don't want to repeat because I don't want to get sad and I don't want to get mad and I don't want to get frustrated. But sometimes when I think everything's good, I have to remind myself, is it? Which makes me, honestly, want to run for the president of the United States of America. If I had the money to do it, I would run this day. Probably wouldn't win, but I would just run to say, hey, people, let's I can answer these questions. You throw the questions at me, okay? here are the questions. Let me just throw this out here and see what you guys think, okay? Here are the questions done to the President of the United States and Biden, right? The last debate. They covered 6 main issues, okay? And this is an article brought in by New York Times, which evidently I have to log in order. Let me log in with Facebook. They need my information in order to pay their bills. I get it. Oh, come on. Just take it. Oh, no, I got to pay. Oh, never mind. Whatever. Okay. So, look, let's just talk about the numero uno one. And it's not coronavirus, people. 500 children are without their parents. But here's the funny thing. Nobody addressed this, okay? This isn't something new. It really isn't. Why are we talking about this? You know that this goes back to August 31st, 2018, people? Nobody's talking about that, though. This was an article. I want you to go back, okay? And at the time of this, which I wonder, why are they asking this now, 2 years later? Oh, because it's still the case. But here is of August 31st, people. Lawyers, this is a statement, and this isn't old news. This isn't fake news. This is real news, which is why it came up in the political realm sector of a simple answer to a very obvious question. But here, and if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't see it, go look, and the answer is appalling, to me at least, because I'm like, just answer the dumb question. What are you going to do? But this goes back to 2018, August 31st. This is a news article. The headline is, still separated nearly 500 migrant children, but take out the word migrant and just have some compassion for those of you who are like, well, they were here illegal. Oh man, you say that to me, I'm gonna slap you silly. No, I'll get locked up. Never mind. I'll slap you silly with words, because here we go. 500 children taken from their parents remain in U.S. custody. And where are the parents? I want to read the article word for word, okay, so I don't get in trouble. This is according to Maria Sacchetti, okay, from Washington Post. Lawyers are cold calling phone numbers in far-flung Central American villages and enlisting church pastors and school teachers to help. They are spreading the word on radio stations, putting up posters, and setting up Spanish language hotlines. They're trying to reach every parent separated from their children by the Trump administration. There you go. That's all Trump had to say. We've been trying, but people aren't answering. More than a month after a court deadline passed for the government to reunite families divided by President Trump's border crackdown, nearly 500 children remain in U.S. government-funded shelters without their parents, according to court papers filed Thursday night. Advocates and government officials say it could be weeks, months, or longer before they're together. It is now 2020. Do the math, people. They thought it was going to be weeks. It is now well past August 2020. What is that? Do the math. 2010, 19, 3 years. No, 2018, 19, 20. 2 years. Thank you. Two years and 2 months? Too long? Too long, people. Too long. All right. Let me read the rest of the information here. Nearly 2/3 of the 497 minors still in custody, including 22 tender age children at the time of this writing, are younger than 5. Have parents who were deported mostly in the first weeks of Trump's zero tolerance policy. Do you remember that zero tolerance policy? Now he claimed, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You guys set up the cages. He's not wrong. What people don't know about the Obama administration was very heavily locking people up and putting away the key. No, not true. They were catching and releasing, meaning, okay, we got you. You're here illegally. We need to ship you back. Okay, sorry, but that's just that. Those are the rules. But since the no zero tolerance policy, which happened to be during the Trump administration, here's the information. Their lawyers are locating parents in their home countries to ask whether they want their children sent back or would rather have them remain in the United States to pursue their own immigration claims. At the same time, the lawyers are trying to bring some deported parents back to seek permission to live in the United States, a decision that might end up with the U.S. District Judge Dana Sabra, who issued the reunification order. Other parents are still being vetted or ineligible to immediately regain custody because they are in custody in some cases for minor or years-old offenses. Government officials say they're moving as fast as possible, not fast enough. It took how how difficult is it to get to, like, okay, despite legal challenges and complicated logistics, including dozens of children who officials say want to go home to their parents. Yeah, no, duh. If you were a child, where would you want to go? Are you responsible for what your parents did? No. Get the family members involved, the families of the families. You know what? Look, here's what I know about Latin families. We are big. We are big. Okay. There's a lot of cousins. There's the cousins of the cousins. There's the cousins, right? There's Latinos have a lot of kids. Okay. It's a fact. All right. It's a thing. It's not hard to find a family member. Hey, okay, come on. Let's take this kid out. Seriously. This kid needs a real home. Government officials say they're moving as fast as possible. No, I'm sorry. 2 years, 2 months. Well, at that time they said they were, right? Including dozens of children who officials say want to go home to their parents have not been sent because of a temporary court order that prohibits their deportation. So if I were President Trump and I was asked that question, here's what I would say. It's not right. We're going to fix it right here, right now. Let's make a call. Done. How difficult is it just to say, look, these kids need to be back with their families. Whatever you guys are holding it up, let's stop holding it up. Kids should not be away from their parents for longer than a month at a time. These are at their most pivotal years of growing up. But no, mudslinging. You're the ones that said it. Was that the question, Trump? What are you doing right now? Well, yeah, we're doing it. Justice Department lawyer Scott Stewart said at a hearing Friday, there are a lot of folks who want to move forward with reunification. We want a few roadblocks as possible. The government expects to reunite all the families eventually, unless parents pose a safety threat or decide that their children should pursue asylum in the United States. Okay, the first part, I agree. We have orphans here, all right, and people in the system that are taken by foster parents because there are a lot of bad parents. Okay, there are child molesters. There are people that abuse their kids. There are people that take drugs, and oddly enough, I know of these situations. It's sad but true. There are derelict parents out there. Now, is a derelict parent a bad parent for wanting to come to the United States of America to seek a better life for them and or their family member? To which I'd say, if you were born in a very impoverished country, would you suddenly see a land of opportunity flowing with milk and honey? Say, you know what? I can't stand it here. We got to go somewhere better. There's opportunity over there. Let's go. If you were born in a different country, would you maybe, possibly, do the same thing? And would you want a little leniency for just trying to go where the opportunity is better? You see, people don't think of things like that. People say, no, you're here illegally. Get out of here. Go back to your own country, right? Instead of just having some compassion, saying, look, I get it. I disagree with it. I don't want to pay for your funds, and you got to stay on your side of the line. But I get it. But you know what? We got to send you back. Sorry. Oh, and here are your kids, by the way. Don't worry. Sorry, Joey. I know. Can you guys not do that again? I appreciate that. Thanks. Don't want to catch you again at the border. You know, people lose their lives just getting through the border. Nobody talks about that. No. Because at the beginning of the election, that was amplified. There's so many, and I get it. I get it all the time, right? You're a Latino, of course you're for them. No. If Canadians wanted to cross over into the United States of America, do you know that Canadians have blocked the U.S. from even coming into Canada? Did you know that? They're like, we're expiring at the end of the month. We're pretty sure we're going to have to put it back on lockdown because the U.S. has the highest rate per person of coronavirus in the world. Right now, Canada's like, oh man, we're gonna lock you guys up if you. And what happens if all of a sudden you go with your family? You understand what I'm saying? You're like, well, free healthcare, man. I can see a doctor. I know people that go over the border to get prescription and or medication for cheap. All right. A lot of people, Americans included, go to Mexico to get pharmaceutical drugs for cheap. Don't believe me? It's a thing. You can get it for bottom dollar in pesos, right? But my point is this, people. When do we have like a double? Look, I get it. Don't come illegally. Don't stay illegally. Don't, you fill out the proper forms, get your path to citizenship. We could only allow so many people at a time with government and funding and dollars. Got to make sense and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, we got coronavirus, people. Let's focus on that. Okay. Let's get the kids back to their homes. All right. And let's put that, how much money people get for locking people up? It's a business. Approximately, I did the numbers and the math once, $85,000 to make one inmate stay in prison. That's how much government pays the facilities. It's a business. So per person, $85,000. When in reality, it takes $65,000 to rehabilitate somebody from drugs. How many are in there because of the drugs? You see where I say it's a little skewed? Yeah, pie in the sky mentality. No, I just see it from a different angle is all. But what can I do? I'm not the president. The president has the ability to do stuff. Governors have the ability to do stuff, right? Not true, not fully. Senate has the ability to do stuff. Does the Senate have more control than people think they do? Oh, maybe a senator then. I don't know. I just feel like somebody's got to stick up for the right thing for the right reason. Let me go on to read this. Actually, I'm done with this. I really am. No, I am. Washington Post. There it is. There's the news article. But nope, you didn't see any of those answers being. How difficult is it to say, you know what? Let's make a call. Let's get the people in. You guys have no record. Like you just locked them up. You just didn't even get their names. They didn't want to give out their names. Got it. Okay. You got no video surveillance. You got no CSI. Like you don't have any cameras that showed them with their kid as they came in when you were locking them up. You didn't have like any tagging situation where you okay, that you guys are all together, right? Okay, this is your kid. Okay, got it. Okay, you didn't do any of that, right? How do 500 plus kids get locked up and then not find their parents? I think there's fallacy there. Something's amiss there. All right, but there you go. All right, people, look, I got a lot of problems that need fixing, and there you go. And see, Fraser says, and I've been on Fraser's show, he's right. If you don't vote, you can't complain about the final decision. It's true. It's true. And yet, at the same time, I can and will. I always go, would my vote have mattered in the end, right? Sometimes, look, do you know the electoral vote matters more than the popular vote? If you don't believe me, the last election, the popular vote was for the other party. The electoral vote voted for Trump. Agree or disagree? Look it up. It's very interesting. But at the end of the day, we got to do the right thing. And that's all I'm asking for politicians. Just do the right thing. Is it so difficult? Is it so difficult? I think the founding fathers of America tried to do the right thing. You had some pretty smart heavy hitters there, right? More smart than I think the common era, because I think just people lately just enjoy the entertainment. They don't deal with the real issues. Here are the real issues, people. Here's the three things we need to focus on, okay? Three things right here, right now. Number one, how do we get the public back to safety? Meaning, ever since 9/11, they didn't stop travel. We put up barriers, we put up guidelines, we put up vetting. If you were traveling, you had to show your document. They were less lax, right? Granted, it took longer to get through TSA. People upset about that, mad, angry, right? You know it if you've been in there. Oh, I used to be the one of them, right? Ugh, so stupid. Why are they focusing on me? Obviously, do I look like a terrorist? Oh my god! But then I had in the back of my head, just go along with it. Better safe than sorry, right? True. But here we are. Put on a face mask. Taking my liberties and my rights. I had that conversation just the other day. Taking my liberties and rights. Because you now have to wear a face mask? Yeah. That's your complaint? I'd hate to live in your house. You must complain about everything. That's my complaint. I'm sticking to it. So I just had to let the conversation go. Every bit of the other conversation was I was on point. Like, I agree. But I can't talk about it. Why can't I talk about it? We're talking about pharmaceuticals, right? Do you know that if I voiced everything I thought about pharmaceuticals, I would probably be locked up at some point and or fined a heavy fine. So I can speak in generality, but I don't speak about any one particular pharmaceutical, right? It's look, there are people that control the government, and I just feel that's where we're at in the stage of time, unfortunately. But I could be wrong. Don't believe me? Look, I just heard a news article just earlier. Do you know how much Trump has paid? Okay, let's go to Biden. I think everybody here is a Biden night, right? Okay, I'm gonna get you guys upset right now. I'm not trying to, but I am. Because people go, no, you're anti-Trump. I'm anti-Biden too. Watch. Biden invested how many millions of dollars into his campaign thus far? Let's do Trump versus Biden. Money. All right, I'm going to Google this for those of you tuning in at home. This is as of 4 days ago. Let me go to NPR. They're pretty realistic, right? All right, here's where it stands. You ready? Oh man, I should bring this up on. I want to bring this up so you guys don't think I'm pulling your chain. This is called Information 101. Okay, here it is. And let me bring it up here. Guess how I like to do research. There it is. This is more than Trump spent in his last election when he won against Hillary. And Hillary technically, I think it was 1.2 billion. He was just under $1 billion, by the way. We got no money for the people. Well, somebody's making money. So that let's just calculate that together. That's 1.5. That's 1.5. That's $3 billion for your vote for America. I just want you to stop and think about that. Okay, what could the country do with $3 billion? That's a small price to pay in order to win an election. Okay, I'll go with that. Here's the cash. Here's what was raised, and here is what was spent. The left column is what was raised. The red column, what was raised. That's called fundraising from deep pockets, by the way. Spent. So it looks like Donald Trump's almost spent almost all of it, right? Joe Biden still has some room to go. This was updated October 22nd, by the way. In cash, 239 million, 117 million cash, right? Thank goodness we get to see all this stuff. Funding sources. Ooh. This was the cash on hand. This is how they report it, right? Total raise. This is where fundraising comes into play. Most recent affiliate reports. Let me scroll down. Victory Fund, Trump Victory, Make a Great Committee. Joe Biden, pretty big on the fundraising campaign, right? Where is the cash coming from? Ooh, look at that. Biden and Trump. 10 million. Some wealthy areas in California. Look at that. On Trump's side. LA County. $23 million. Dark spot over here in Florida. Ooh. Right? Palm Beach County. A lot of rich people there. What's this little dark one here? Maricopa County, Arizona. Yeah. I love this stuff, right? Look at this. LA, 54 million for Biden. So don't tell me Trump doesn't love California. He got 23 million from it, right? So there you go. And then they got counties who pays what. See why there's some loyalties in certain areas. I would just remind them, hey, you got 23 million of LA Countyans, right? You might want to do some good stuff for LA County too. But see the division here? Where are these light areas at? Let's see. $1 from Todd County for Biden. You see? That's look right here. Let's see. Dickens County, Ford County, not a dime, right? For Biden. That's funny. Yeah, we're not voting for that guy. And there's areas that you can go in here and you could tell, right? The mix and/or a lot. So technically, at least according to this graph, I see a lot more white dots right here. You see that? Middle America, people. Middle America. Right? Look at Texas. Yeah, that's obvious. Texas, of course, right? So there you go. There's a snapshot of where the campaign cash is coming from. Agree to disagree. There you go. Follow the money, track the money, and there you go. Who's paying into it? You know, there's a list, or there used to be a list of where the money was coming from. And you could almost tell why, because they wanted certain things or laws to be made in order to protect their interests. It's true. Super PACs, okay? It's a thing. There's a great documentary on this subject, which if you want your kid to get very smart overnight, just have them watch it, okay? It's I forget the name of it. I'll post it later. But my point is, sometimes this stuff used to bore me. Now it actually, I get it. I get why things are so corrupt. I really do. Here's some money, okay? Go run. You win. Might call in a favor. Nobody needs to be wise about it. See ya. That is what you're voting for, people. People that get paid off. So you got to say, well, does it make sense that the payoff is making sense? Because I vote more for that. Okay, that makes sense. But at the end of the day, we all got to suffer because due to coronavirus, if you do not take care of coronavirus first, whether it's Trump and or Biden, well, how are you going to put businesses back to work? How are you going to make the economy go back to flowing? I have heard yet nothing that puts people safe and puts people back to work safely. 9/11, you could travel, but you had to do so safely. Sorry, people. I know, but you're not allowed on this plane unless we check your shoes. I don't want you to check my shoes. I got athlete's foot. That's embarrassing. Some people, they make strip down. It's embarrassing. There's a show I like to watch every now and then. I forget what network it is on. And it's TSA agents calling people out that are liars, right? You have anything in this bag that I need to be aware of? No. They opened it up and there's a bunch of fruits that were from another country that they're not allowed to bring in. When we asked you earlier, you're not supposed to bring in fruit. Why did you say you didn't have any in your bag? Oh, is that fruit? It's not my fruit, right? You can tell a liar's a liar from a mile away. Because I love to see this and go, oh, that person's lying. Yeah, I can tell. Maybe you're that person. You get oh, they're lying. Come on. This is just some crazy. People lie day in and day out. All right. I don't care who you vote for. People lie. All right. Some for their own interests, some for their selfish interests, and some for just because they like to lie. I've met people that just lie because they like to make up stories. You ever meet somebody like that? You gonna let them into your vehicle if you got to go somewhere? Honestly, well, yeah, what are you gonna do, right? Leave them stranded? Yeah, okay, all right, come on in. You're that liar, huh? You like to tell stories that aren't true. Oh man, you knew that? I gotta tell you a story about that. One day, I was a quick fixing for a good homemade meal, and I looked up in the phone book for grandma's pies, and grandma's pies were so delicious. Grandma's pies were so good, but I never had a pie ever in my life. Do you have a pie that I could borrow and or $20? Right? No, you can't. Just be quiet. Shut up. Right? There's people that just don't make sense, right? So I say to those people, get in the back of the line. or the back of the vehicle, okay? Because you need leadership. You need somebody that has a smart mind, thinking mind to drive the country that we're in. If you are safe and sound with letting Trump and or Biden drive a vehicle that you're in to make the right decision in the event of a local disaster, okay? Vote with your thinking head. Who do you feel will at least do this much? There's an oncoming mudslide. Every man for himself. He's the first one out because it just stalled, right? It stalled. Ah, right? No, you want somebody that's like, can you get it? Remember speed? Right? You know, get it, keep going. Turn this around and go in the opposite direction. Sorry, people, hold on, right? You want that person. You don't want somebody asleep at the wheel, okay? Whoever is in your mind, you go, yep, that's totally Trump. He would do that. So I would say, no, that's Biden. Okay, but at the end of the day, what if I told you there were two steering wheels? One side is Trump, the other is Biden, and now you're all in the same boat. Because now it's not a bus, it's a boat. But the boat is sinking. It doesn't matter who's at the lead, right? You all got to do something. Hey, people, pitch in. Hey, people, cover up that hole. Oh, my God. Like, somebody, like, can we figure this out? Because we got to keep this boat afloat, people. You understand? We're all in the same boat. You're not traveling in a different boat, are you? You're traveling in the same boat. You really are. Granted, you're in your own house. I get it. But we're all in the same boat with coronavirus. We're in a... Look, you and I are in the same boat. You may be in a different country. We're in the same boat. We're facing the same issues, by the way. We're in the same boat. What are we going to do about it? Those are the questions that need answers. What are we going to do about it? First and foremost, what are you going to do about it? The answer? There's a vaccine coming. The answer to the non-thinking person and or trained person that does the research, they'll be here by the end of the month. Wait, no, he didn't say that. By the end of the year? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's around the corner, people. Okay, so by the way, I have a guest coming up on the morning show pretty soon that talks about refrigeration cooling centers. Do you know that these vaccines have to be cooled before they're transported and or maintained cooled, by the way, as they're getting transported? There's not it's a whole process. Okay. At minimum, if you had the solution as of today, it's not like, oh, okay, let's wave a magic wand. Y'all got vaccines. Yay! There's manufacturing processes that need to happen. There's safety protocols that need to happen. There's exporting that needs to happen. He said, oh, military is going to roll it out. Military going to roll it out? You do realize countries are at war right now. You kind of need military to stay focused on war stuff. So as a president, no, we're not doing that. You see where I have problems? I'm like, he's not thinking. I feel this man has coronavirus of the mind right now. I really do. And or Biden. But I did not hear any. Seriously, if you heard really good plan of action stuff, not rhetoric. Hey, people, you're all going to get sick. You want somebody doing something. You're not. Look, either way, whoever's being voted in, you're going to get sick. Okay. Why don't you get it? It's simple. Biden. Talk to Kamala. Just let Kamala have the mic. Seriously. I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of the men in the room because the men, not smart. The women in the room, more smart. It's true, man. You look, here's why I say this, okay? Guaranteed, hands down. In the household, who do you trust more? The dude in the family and or the lady of the house? Who do you trust more in a house to take care of the family? Just throwing it out there, okay? Just throwing it out there. I'd like a show of hands. Who do you trust more? The dude in the house or the lady in the event that there's a problem in the house? Who? Go for it, people. Let's let your voice count. Just I want to. This is a social experiment. Let's call it that. Okay. Whoever comments, I won't even throw your name out there. Just throw it out there. Okay. Who do you trust more, the lady of the house or the man of the house? Right. It's a family of 4. Okay. Who do you trust more? I want to throw my vote in right here, right now. The lady of the house. You know, ladies can run circles around men. They really can. They could take care of the kids. They could do so much more. Majority, more often than not, right? Take care of the kids, take care of a family, take care of a family of 4, take care of the payments, take care of the house, take care of financial. Some are having both to work, right? Oftentimes, the dude at the end of the day, I'm tired. The lady, nonstop. True or true? Come on. This is an everyday event. I guarantee it. And men, when you're real about it, you'd rather let your lady take care of the family, right? Oh man, can you take care of the kids? Oh, yeah, I'll take care of them. All right, right? It's a luxury if a man can work or a lady can work, but usually never is that way, right? And the man stay at home, rarely that way, right? All of a sudden, there's no respect. Everybody hates it when the man is at home taking care of the family. It's true, but let's just say times are changing. Not because the reality is women do not respect men that do not work more often than not. There's some that do, but they only respect them for so long. It's true. But men on the front end, what have you been doing all this time, right? You offset everything to the lady in your house. Do you realize if you did, you ever remember the movie Mr. Mom with starring Michael Keaton? It's crazy. Men, you did this, but this is my point. I don't think Donald Trump could take care of, back to his wife, okay? I don't think he could do everything. I don't even think he's a present parent. I really don't. I can see it in the kid. I can see it. Oh, no, you attacked the kid. Oh, no. I can see it. He looks sad. He looks frustrated. He looks so upset in life. I say, yo, Trump, you need to take care of your family first. Your wife not looking too happy either. Take care of your family. Don't let your family be your derelict of duty as well. I got a country to run. I get it. Then spend time with both, okay? Because you have more time tweeting. I'd be like, you have so much time tweeting. I don't know what happened to Facebook, but you just love tweeting. Spend that time with your kid, okay? Be an example for the rest of the world, because the rest of the world needs more families being strongly united together. They do. And you got to start with the funding for businesses to be back so that those working can put food on the table for the family of 4 or more. It's a difficult time we're living in, people. This is why I say this is an election that matters. It's true. But people still want to throw caution to the wind, thinking, well, if I vote one way, it's okay. It'll change. And coronavirus isn't going away. You know what I would ask? I'd ask this question. If you're voting for one candidate, let me ask you this. What do you hope they do if coronavirus is still around? We don't have a vaccine in the next 3 years. I bet that would be a different question or a different answer to a question. I don't know. Which is it? Different question? Maybe you should ask it differently. Okay. Ask this question. If I were having to pick a line of work, I would pick a line of work that I could try to work virtually first for my family of 8. Because if you got a family that big, well, here's the thing. How many jobs are out there that are virtual? Not that many. So there's a huge piece of the pie of people that have to go and put themselves in harm's way to put food on the table. Now, granted, the numbers are pretty largely going to get okay. But we currently just crossed the threshold. Don't know if you were with us at the very beginning. 225,000 deaths here in the U.S. Here in the U.S. In the world, currently, $1.16 million deaths. 1.16 million deaths. Granted, Here's the positive news. 29 million have recovered. Thank God. But can they get it a second time, a third time, a fourth time? It's terrible, people. United States leading the cause of coronavirus. Well, the guy's in office now. It's not going down, though. We have more people. India has more people than us. They're second to us. You understand? India's second. They have 1 billion people with 119,000 deaths. They have recovered 7 million recovered. Brazil, third. Russia, fourth. France, fifth. And Italy doing a really big scene right now. Italy completely is back on lockdown, 100%. I keep telling you, people, be careful. It's going to happen here. I already saw some that have enacted in certain counties in California. Let's see. Let's pull that up. California. I'm going to type in something. I want to see something here. Yeah, here's one. Let me scroll down. Let's go down. Faced with dying Californians and withering businesses, Governor Newsom steers a middle path. Can it last? This was in August 6th, by the way. Okay, this is an old news story. Californians could be forgiven for feeling like we're running in place. 3 months after Governor Gavin Newsom began easing the stay-at-home order meant to curb the coronavirus pandemic, the virus is raging, and the vast majority of residents are back to living under major government restrictions. About 97% of Californians live in counties where schools are not allowed to reopen, where indoor malls, gyms, churches, and hair salons are shuttered. Across the state, bars have been ordered to close. Restaurants and movie theaters are barred from serving customers indoors. Unemployment is worse than it was at the beginning of the Great Recession. This was in August 6th. We're going on almost 3 months later. And has it changed much? I think we're going back to this, by the way, quite soon. So as I keep saying, be prepared. All right. That's my time, people. Just be prepared, okay? Be happy, be loving, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Whatever you do in life, just remember, be kind, be loving. Don't throw caution to the wind. Be safe than sorry. Just apply those simple principles, and you'll be good to go. Okay, people. Love you. Make it a great day, whatever you do. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.